here we are again. I promised I'd move forward a bit after doing some fiddly things last time, so let's turn our attention to this trap over here, and what are we going to do to spring it? We're going to put in a wacky great spider mastermind. So that's okay to that. And she's going to notice the player immediately when they come in, expecting to see this exit. I had a great suggestion in one of the comments from the earlier video saying that maybe this could actually be the door, and when you open it, the whole thing goes up and the room reveals itself that way, which would be hilarious. I'll take that and keep it as an idea for another map, but I like the idea of this one just transforming behind your back for now. So what's going to happen from here is I'm thinking that as the player doesn't have a lot of ammunition to deal with a spider mastermind, her health is a bit low, which is a shame, then I'll put a crusher above her, and the idea is to get to 2 switches eventually, by use of gathering the 2 other keys that aren't the blue one. And that will provide the way forward to exit the level. So I'm going to have to provide some hiding places, just to be fair. I might... what does this actually do? This one makes the ceiling... this is the problem with the generalized actions, isn't it? Because you can't really see what they do. Ceiling walking across target trigger up, highest adjacent ceiling. Okay, so that does not need to be tagged. That's going to be my pillar. I'm just going to put another one here. And one more here. All right. And eventually I'll decorate the rest of the room. We'll do that now, actually, to make it look like this is actually a deliberate thing that happened. All right. So we're going to need some metallic columns and so on. Actually, maybe those rune pillars that we've got outside, that might look really good in here as well. Let me see what I can do. Let's make those jut out by 32, and also put in a couple of little alcoves so that you can sort of, but not quite, hide from the spider mastermind. I'm going to use the same trick that I did before for here, where I have a sector that's actually not void, so that I can use both upper and lower halves of it to have different... Oh no, maybe I can't have different alignments of the same texture. I'll just have to use different textures entirely. What's a good one? Not sure if that just looks stupid. And I can't... Yeah, I can't separate the alignment of these 2 textures. If I could, then I'd be able to use the other half and the different symbols down there. But we'll see what happens. Let's have a look at more metallic stuff. What do I have here again? OBKM. And we want something that's 32 wide. It looks like that, basically. We'll drop this down to the same height as that. Upper unpeg it. And, you know, that could be a hiding place for the player. No one's going to see this legitimately, but I do want to have the texture on theme. So that's no wood. Do it like that. So the player's going to have to make their way out from behind maybe a jutting out wall here to the door that will lead them to the next part of the level. And I'm going to do the same up here as well. And I'm going to make these 2 routes both interact with back here. So we'll see how successful I am at that. Let's take that door that I did earlier. And I want the actions to be a bit different. I want this one not to be keyed. Actually going to use generalized again. And of course, I know that this action just exists as action number 1 in the standard ones, but I'm so interested in exploring these now that I've got into them. Action, open, break, close, monsters, yes, no, maybe. Yep. Oh, that's another thing I meant to do. I don't suppose... Is there a door blue blaze open? Door blue open, stay, door... Yes, SR, door blue open, stay fast. Maybe D1, door open, stay blue, fast. Where is it? Switch one, door open, stay... What's the difference between these, honestly? I often wonder why they didn't think about parameterizing these actions when they wrote Doom, but I suppose Doom was being... Sorry, I did try to stop it. I suppose Doom was being written in such a vast hurry that maybe they didn't have time to just go back and tidy it up a bit. All right, here though, we're going to do some arena fighting. I'm going to use the idea that I cooked up for the left-hand side, but then decided that it wouldn't work there. Let's see, maybe if we just make this drop down to some C so that you can't change your mind once you've gone this way. I also want to make sure that this door doesn't hit the ceiling. So I'm just going to scroll those down, thank you. I'll come around to the rest of this when I get there. That might be an idea to copy and paste this over here as well. Just so that the player has a little loot to hide in, maybe? Not really sure. Didn't need to make it wonky like that. There we go. All right. I'd like some C, please. And this will be outside again. What did I have for outside? 192? Yeah. So here we're going to have a gully that curves around to the left a bit. And we're going to put some platforms at the sides here so you can fight off things coming from the sides. Can you make it a bit deeper, do you think? We'll see what we can get away with. All of this is, again, going to be resized around quite a lot. I might have made it too big, but we'll see. I'd like the player to start at this point. All right. And, oh, I never drew a platform there. Not do for now. 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to need to put in a few more stairs here for accessibility. One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's fine. Let's just move you back a bit. All right, and I don't want the player to be able to get to here. This will be something for later on. Maybe I'll actually raise that just a bit, but we'll come back to it. Give me some sky, please. This, you know what? This can be a little covered area. And if I alter this room a bit, I'll have some room to put a sniper up here. All right, what can we use for a ground here? I think something maybe a bit concretey to, or stony to separate it from the rest of the level. I wonder if there's a, yeah, there's some sort of brick textures. I like these. It's definitely a bit of a heretic thing in this level emerging. Which one of these looks like it could plausibly be steps as well? Maybe this one. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to wonder if I can use Shift and J? Just J? Control and J? Yes, randomize 8 line defs. Whoa, okay, steady on. All right, that wasn't quite what I had in mind. I was hoping to be able to just randomize their position, but that might not be part of what's possible, just to make it look not quite as neat as it does just now. There we go. These walls will need to be more concretey. And those are going to need to be unpegged if I'm doing that. Might look okay. Bare stairs, the sides of them never look very good, so I tend to disguise them like that. And let's make this have a little front on it. You can be down there. Our wood texture. And let's put something in the middle of here. I'm thinking of a Baron. Might be able to get away with it. And let's decorate his platform a bit. Come on. Okay. My new mouse, very sensitive. More so than the old one. All right. Where are my trims? Thank you. Again, combining 2 textures horizontally can really do great things. No, this should be sort of wood as well, I think. All right, so away from the Spider Mastermind and into this arena that's controlled by a Baron on the top there. Okay. Thinking. So what I'd like to happen is the player gets into this sort of river area, and they have to maneuver their way around the enemies from both sides, and eventually they're going to be able to raise a platform that goes around that barren. Let's see. It throws me every time I open this monsters menu, and the Doom 2 ones just aren't there. Don't realise how few monsters there were in Doom. All right. And let's put, I almost put shotgunner. Let's put a mixture again of enemies that are going to be attacking you with projectiles from far away, close up, everything we can. All right then. Maybe there's a little sort of dam here. That's going to open the way to more monsters once the player gets rid of it. Oops, don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Let's make this darker as our roofed area. And eventually this is going to come and join up with this. And I'd like to just put a little corridor along this way. The idea is that there are going to be some grates between here and there as well, which I will borrow from up here. Oops. So you can peek into this area early, should you want to. Okay, let's select all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And up we go. The Tudor texturing works against me here because it doesn't really look like it should be there. There's gaps there, you see. Let me see. Oh, that already was unpegged. Wonder what I did. We'll come back to that. Anyway, but this is going to be a bit lower down. Maybe that much? Maybe that much. And it's going to be a lot darker. This is going to be enclosed. And let's get rid of the water texture there. Good, okay. Right, back over here now. I would like a switch that lowers this down. We're going to put it on this wall. Let me think about how. Because I'm going to have to use a switch texture that isn't one of the OTEX switches. Actually, maybe these would be quite good here. I'm not exactly sure what colour they are, but if I put a border on it, it might look okay. Something like that. I've put it in completely the wrong place, but you get the idea. Are there any sort of wooden struts I could use? I don't really want to use wooden struts. Forget that. Forget I ever said it. BL. Oh no, that's black marble. BKM is black metal. Yeah, again, our texture choices don't have to be 100% final, but I do like switches that stand out from the background. Let's say that this is a switch. All right, let us tag this one. And this one is going to move a floor down. Switch 1, speed slow, model is trigger, direction down, target is the lowest adjacent floor, and it is going to change the texture. All right. Maybe I'll use a different texture for this dam. Oh yeah, maybe that one. So, looks okay. Okay. Now this, I didn't want to keep these textures. I wanted to make this look more Demon City-like again. Let's see how I can achieve that. Oh, I like the inverted pentagrams. That's a really interesting use of Tudor beams. Yeah, we definitely need to break up these textures quite a lot, but the idea's there. That's 32. Let's make a 32 wide border here as well. And I'm going to highlight this door just a bit. Actually, it's already plenty highlighted there. That's going to be 192 already. Put that to 176, just so it stands out. So we've got our stairs. We've got our platform to go over here. You can actually get past this without lowering the dam, can't you? And maybe that's fine. We'll decide later. If you want to coral the monsters, maybe. I'd like to release some demons. And we'll put some imps there. We're actually going to make this a little alcove. Oh yeah, the ceiling. Find that just making quite simple shapes, you can make things look a lot less regular, a lot less samey, I suppose. Making a conscious effort not to make this symmetrical as well. I do have the symmetrical demons, but if I have some imps on one side and hit scanners on the other, that might be better than just making them entirely symmetrical. So that the player has to make a decision rather than it not mattering either way who to go for first. Yeah, I think this should actually be a wall. It's not going to help stop them going over there, is it? I don't know. Let's just give them the freedom of choice. Eventually, by any means necessary, they'll be able to come up to here somewhere, and then they'll be able to come back and around on the top level. And this will be the entrance to the old building. Something like that. What's a good way to signal to the player that... Yeah, that will do, actually. If I have it at about this height, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, then that means I can see the pillar going down. Even better, maybe I could leave just a little gap. No, that's going to be useless. I was going to think maybe I can leave a gap through here to make it obvious the pillar's going down, but I don't think I could make it look natural. Besides, the switch is on the other side. All right. Speaking of that switch, let's do another one. I think I was on vertices mode. That's useless. Penny got into a phase where she was just experimenting with words and finding out how funny they sounded if you replaced syllables in them. Like, I'm going to watch a video, and I'm going to bake air. We stopped it when she got to the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, that's the wrong size. Do you know what? I'm going to make another alcove here and a little stream spouting out of this area and going across the width of that. All right. Shift and mouse button to do little differences. I think often there's something that looks special about little sector differences like this, because they didn't tend to do them in original Doom. It just gives a sense of detail without there necessarily being much detail. Once again, I have no idea what I'm saying. If you can rescue me, then please do so. All right. Gone down too far. Oh no, I haven't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, so. Okay. Fall. Which one looks better with these? Not that one, I'll tell you that. There we go, alright. Yeah, bringing the player down through a channel where the monsters are above them is often quite challenging because you don't quite have the line of sight. Alright, so what this is going to do, it's going to raise this platform, which you didn't know about before. And of course I'm going to have to provide a way round and everything. Oh, can I use the famous donut? Maybe I will. There's an action called the donut that lowers the central pillar or something while raising the sector around it. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it might be worth a try. I'm going to raise this to prevent any headaches later. Let's see, what is the predefined action? S1 floor raised donut. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, too much actually, because I've got a 0 in there. Tag 8. Let's see, do I have monsters off, please? It's going down a bit far for my liking. Alright, well I got the lower, I did not get the donut. I could open up E1M2 to have a look. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Where would it be? It would have been Doom.wad in E1M2. We want this to be open as a Doom format. Anything that just contains Doom.wad, I'll open it as a Cleanout one. E1M2. Alright, you see how simple a lot of these levels are back in when Doom was created. It's really hard to remember how... Okay, S1 floor raised donut. That's tag 8. That's effect 7. And I think they do something very similar in the E2M2 of Doom as well. Where is it? It's this. Maybe I'm actually wrong about this now. Yeah, there's raised donut. Okay. Maybe they have to be equidistant either way. I never noticed that in Doom 1. Little mistake with the poison signs. Here we go. We can always thank the people who took the time to document this for us. A donut is a very specialized line depth type that lowers a pillar in the surrounding pool while raising the pool and changing its texture and type. The tagged sector is the pillar. Okay, its lowest numbered line must be two-sided, oval bar. The sector on the other side of that is the pool. So its lowest numbered line is 691, 695. Yeah, looks like 691 is our winner. So this, on the other side? The sector on the other side of that is the pool. The pool must have a two-sided line whose second side depth does not adjoin the pillar. Yeah. And the sector on the second side of the lowest numbered such line depth is the model for the pool's texture change. The model sector floor also provides the destination height for both lowering the pillar and raising the pool. All right. So the lowest numbered such line depth, whose second side depth does not adjoin the pillar, which is just any of these. 807, 806. How do I renumber these? 802, 810, 798, 797, 796, 594. All right, so what do I do about these? That's 794, okay. And having arranged it so that it works like that, with 794, will that mean the destination's there now? Give it a try. Wow, it worked! I have a really strange sense of satisfaction for making very esoteric systems do the things I want. Oh, CO and CE, oh, wow, you're not keeping up, are you? Okay. Let's go with this one. And that needs to be that texture, unfortunately. Okay. All right, so what that's going to do is it's going to block off this side. So we'll have to have a teleport available here. It also means if you go over here without lowering that, then you'll be able to get back anyway. That's good. And I'd like a flying enemy around here as well. Another door, please. To make this 128. It's getting a bit cramped. I might want to extend some of this map out a bit soon. But we'll finish off this kind of route first. Oh, what would be nice, maybe if the player had to use a dam as part of the puzzle. But does a platform go up to the highest height or just where it started? That's going to be what makes or breaks this. Let's just stick this on it. Oh, it's called lift. Switch repeatedly, lift, lower, weight, raise. Fast. Tag 9. Oh, I could always just I want to see what this does, but I could always just fix it around with some sector work. That's perfect anyway. Okay. If that hadn't been the action for this, then it would have been easy to just make a separate sector there and make it not part of the lift. But that's fine, that's great. Oh, who's waiting for you here? I'm trying to be a bit more brutal with my selection of monsters this time, hence so many sergeants. I may be going over the top with it, and I will try to redress the balance later on if I need to. It's also the reason that I've been shy about putting medikits in anywhere, and instead very stim pack heavy. Give you one there, though. I've just remembered something, and that was that I meant this to drop when you go over this line. Walk over once, go fast, trigger, direction down, target is the next adjacent floor, I suppose. No change. And crush into pulse, no, okay. Good. So this needs to have a switch as well. We'll decide where to put that. And okay, so this will be a switch that's actually on the wall. It's not going to be on the lower texture. Good. More BKM over here. And that's going to do what this did. I'll just use the generic one. Lift, lower, weight, raise, fast on tag 9. And we'll get rid of that action. This will need an action in case the player traps themselves behind it. So I'm just going to use exactly the same action. All right. Oh yeah, and I was actually going to put a teleport here, wasn't I? Maybe just off to the side here. Oh, and of course, I can't change the floor and ceiling offsets in this map format, so I'm going to have to alter my architecture around it. Let's make this one be a walk repeated teleport. Monsters can use it as they like. Oh, no, not monsters only. WR teleport. Although these are all boom ones. Let's just use the walk repeated teleport. And it's going to go to tag 11. Tag 11 will be... just here will do. In Boom and Vanilla Doom, you couldn't tag things, so you needed to tag a sector and then have a teleport destination in it, so that the game would know where to put the player. Alright, let's set on you to ambush so you don't get too enthusiastic. See it? It's just his horns poking up above it. Can I make this slightly lower? I can't really. No. No, we'll maybe raise this all a notch later. Let's make this gloomier. apart from the teleporter, that's going to stay like that. So we're going to go up there, we're going to go around here, fight our way through there, use the dam. I'm going to want to make that switch more in the light as well. So then the player can, they can't get back this way, so they're going to have to teleport back to there and then across there into this building. What's going to happen in this building is I want to make this wider, and I'd actually like to make a door here, maybe with some bars across it. And that's going to reveal a tantalizing switch on the other side. That switch is going to lower two sets of things. One is the bars across this entrance, and the other is this pillar. And this pillar is going to have a yellow key positioned on top of it. And that's going to let me reuse this area for a fight for the yellow key. I think, while I'm thinking of this, oh yeah, I need to do this. Maybe I'll... Nope, I'll do. There's going to be a switch here. Going to raise the brightness so that the player can see said switch there. And the switch is going to lower the bars across there. Again, we're going to have some issues with this texture alignment, but we will sort those out. Actually, I can just sort that out right now. Well, we'll get there, okay? Okay, so what other metallic things do we have in OTEX? I would usually use Sean texture for bars like that, but I'm wondering if I can use any other kind of similar looking texture. It's a shame you can't sort textures by how wide the apparent texture is, because I can go to 16 width textures here and it shows all the ones that are actually 16 pixels in width, but if you look up something like Oconk A15, that's in 16 pixel bars. Maybe there's something to be said for doing a category tree for those. I'll use these ones. We can always come back and adjust it later. Alright, so this is going to go up. I'm actually going to make these bars thinner, and so that the switch is visible across here. And for this one, I'm going to do some detailing, because I quite like the look of one of the yellow sort of very thin textures that I saw before. What was it? It was one of the 16 widths. One of these, yeah, I like that. Just to have as a center of the pillar. And then I can use that Otex black metal texture there to provide the borders. And that looks rather good. Okay, I'm going to need to turn off things so I can take that. I'll actually just paste that on there, that'll do. Okay. Let's make these thinner. A player needs 32 units of space to get through somewhere. And even then, it's very difficult unless you're a speedrunner. All right. And we need to tag these. I forgot about those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are tagged 12. We'll save this. We'll floor lower to the lowest floor. Tag 12. All right, so let's just get our stairs organized. If we're getting up to this switch. That'll do. That would be K. Is there a horizontal one? I know I've just been using the top of the wooden metal one most of the time, but yeah, that's probably neater. All right, so this is all indoors. Let's bring that down as well. This needs to be not a blue door. It already isn't a blue door, it's just got one texture. Odor C04. And I believe I've done exactly the same thing here. Just without ever remarking on it. Okay. So let's use the doorstop texture here as well. And I want this to look sort of library-like. I'll be doing this very roughly just now, because I think I've gone on for quite a while. That can be wooden again. These are 32 wide. Let's use those. And how can the player get up here? There'll be a little shelf or something. Whoa. Those are striking, aren't they? I was looking for these kinds of textures, just yeah, that kind of thing. And the player will be able to see in here from some distance away. But the actual being in there will come later in the map. Really just drawing random lines just now. Not very satisfied with that, but we'll tidy it up and be more creative once we come back. This could be skulls as well. I'll do. And let's put some lighting. And some actual bookshelves to really sort of complete the library aesthetic, I think. I'm just looking at if I can. Yeah, I can just select all of those now. That's good. Oh, whoa. What will I use for this? Oh, that'll do for now. All right, so the sequence is going to be you come around here, you get the blue key, you go around, you open the blue door, you get your surprise non-exit, you have to race for cover, you have to go out this door or that door, which I haven't built yet. This door will lead you down to this little area here where you fight off some monsters, go through here, get that, pull the switch, that outraises up that, you teleport out, you go through there, and eventually reach the library where you pull that switch, that lowers all these columns, you can get the yellow door. All right, and then there'll be a yellow switch here which will presumably do something. I'm thinking of having a crusher above here because the player doesn't really have the ammunition to defeat the spider mastermind single-handedly, but maybe that'll change. Because you'll get a persistent player that just decides to do it manually. Let's just run through that on no monsters and see if the theory works. All right, we've got here. That's good. I do like that. It's like the room's completely changed. I do need to work out this floor because it needs to change to wooden. But otherwise, that's spectacular. Bit patchy up here as well. Could do with some fixing there. All right. Can I just jump across there now? Oh, I missed it, but I suspect I can. And that's the big disadvantage of not tagging your sectors correctly. Oh no, it's the line death. That's the problem, because in regular Doom, and I suspect Boom as well, that would just cause the level to disintegrate because everything's become a platform, because it's going to tag 0. We want that to actually go to tag 7. GZ Doom has the nicety that if something is tagged 0, it assumes you mean the sector on the other side of the line, which is the behavior that happens for doors. The original Doom doesn't copy that behavior to everything else, but GZ Doom does. Which is why when you're making a Boom map, it's always very important to test on Boom. Which noticeably I'm not doing. I will have to work out that problem with the multiple texture lumps, so we can use Doom 1 plus OTEX. Alright. And this one. And I just want to make sure, yep, I can get out that way. And I want to make sure I can use the switch multiple times. Right, so there's. I really like how that works. Okay, so now we need to use the teleporter. And that will bring us up here. Yeah, that's not a texture difference in the floor, it's just a light level difference. Here we are in the library. That opens up that, and maybe I should have the yellow key within better sight. Oh no, actually, you'll have come through here and seen the yellow key before as well. So there's a yellow key. Eventually, they'll teleport some more monsters in there, and then we'll be able to dodge the spider and use that round here. Okay, I'm going to the non-existent red path. So which I'll do as soon as I've thought of it.